Clouds Friday, upper 80s. I'm Live 5, Chief Meteorologist Bill Walsh, 1250 WTMA Total Weather.
Right now, hazy skies, 76 street-level degrees here at the mighty TMA.
This weather update is brought to you by Low Country Companion Senior Care. For more info, join them on the web at lowcountrycompanions.com. That's lowcountrycompanions.com.
It's our 70th anniversary here at WTMA. 70 years ago, we came on the air with our first broadcast from the Dock Street Theater. In honor of the occasion, we're doing kind of a way-back edition of the Morning Buzz with Bill Sharpe and Gery London and Terry Allen, John Burwell, and Booby Nash. And let's go back to the studio full of WTMA good guys. And we've got a call for Booby right now. David from Somerville, go ahead. You're talking to the great ones.
I paid that bill, so hang up, David.
David, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, listen, Booby helped me get a driver's license when I was a young man of 16. My dad was a police officer, and I was scared to death to have to go in and get my license and I have to drive in front of him. So I had put it off for an extra year as long as I could, but there was something that compelled me to go get it, and that was what was called the coveted Booby Cup. Remember that?
Oh, yes. Yeah, uh-huh. I got
anyway, you know, being a young man of 15 and 16 years old, you have all kind of visions of what a Booby Cup could possibly be without ever having seen one. And I stayed up. Back then, you had a rotary phone.
Right.
I must have dialed my finger raw trying to win that Booby Cup for months at a time. But finally, one day, won it. Didn't have my license yet, and was told I only had like 7 or 10 days to get the cup, or it would go to someone else.
Right.
So I went in. I studied as hard as I could. I got my driver's license permit, and then I bribed my next-door neighbor. He did a favor for him to give me a ride down there so I could get the cup. And when I got it, you know, I really was really happy I got it. And I had bragged to all my friends at school, high school in Somerville, that I had gotten it. They were really amazed. But then it was a Booby Cup. I was kind of let down, but I kept it through all the years.
So it's all because of Uncle Boob. Boob, do you remember any of that? Of course not. Thank you, David.
David, do you still have the cup?
I think David has.
Okay.
David is
gone.
gone.
David, if you still have the cup, we want it back.
No, we don't, David. He's just joking with you. Terry Allen, we were talking about embarrassing moments here.
Yes.
We've got in the studio with us Booby Nash and Terry Allen and Gery London. On the phone, Reverend John Burwell. Tell me about an embarrassing moment that happened to you.
Oh, golly, an embarrassing moment. Well, let's see. I was at WTMA working weekends, and I was hired, actually, by Charlie Hall to run audio at WCSC.
Right.
Primarily because of my background with TMA. And Carol Godwin was doing the midday show, and he decided that he wanted to do battle with this new wild guy that was working nights at WTMA named Booby Nash. And they had this on-air feud going on for weeks and weeks and weeks. And finally, one day, we get Boob ready to go down to meet Carol Godwin. And Boob goes in roaring, guns blazing. Carol Godwin is sitting there, the true gentleman that he was. I'm sorry, I miss him. And it was, I guess, probably one of the highest-rated morning show or midday shows. And then I remember shortly thereafter, I almost got fired. The manager, Jim Wilburn, issued a directive, and that directive was, we will not get radio station members from other stations. We will stick only with WCSC. Okay. I don't know if that's an embarrassing moment, but it's a moment I haven't shared before.
John Burwell is on the phone with us.
Yeah.
He's an Episcopal priest right now. John, tell us embarrassing moments or a moment that happened to you.
Oh, I've got so many. I can tell a great one about Boob in a little bit, if you'd like me to. That happened while we were having a staff meeting one time. One of the, I think, the most embarrassing thing that happened to me was the second day that I was there. And I was new, didn't know anybody, and this older gentleman came up to me and said, "Son, I'd like you to take my car and go get gas put in it." This was back in 1974 when we were having those gas lines.
Oh, I remember those, John.
And so he said, "I'd like you to take my car and get gas put in it." And to begin with, I didn't want to do that. and so I told him, "Sir, you're going to have to check with John Trenton. I don't believe I can leave the station premises without his permission." And so this kind of guy goes and goes running off. And about a minute later, he comes back and he says, "Mr. Trenton said it would be fine." So as I was going out, I said, "Who is that guy?" I said that to one of the other jocks, and he said, "That's Chuck Smith. He owns this place."
Oh, way to go, Gery. You really stepped in it big time, didn't you? Stay with us, folks. We're going to be reminiscing through 10 o'clock this morning about WTMA on the birthday. This is the 70th birthday of the mighty TMA. I used to, when I was growing up, I used to hear it called Tiger Radio. I'm Bill Sharpe from Live 5 News, and I'm here with Gery London, the Big Booby Nash. You've been listening to the Reverend John Burwell and Terry Allen.
The Weekend Warrior.
What's
the
that?
Weekend
The Weekend
Warrior.
Warrior.
Weekend Warrior.
And he was my hero growing up. Stay with us. Much more right here on WTMA.
This is the legendary WTMA.
WTMA, Tiger Radio.
What is performance now?